My topic is industrial law. Employment of women and the employment of young persons live with wages with the Factories Act 1948. The first, the Employees Act, section 1948. Women in our country form an integral part of workplace under Central Census 2001. The started that 127, 122, 1 248 people in the workforce for are the women. In other words, women work in rural areas while 28 millions work in the urban areas. Women in our country face certain discriminations in workplace. There are the time where women are not allowed to do certain jobs, but then was later amendment and now women can do any job they choose to do. Even though there are laws against the discriminations, women still face discrimination sometimes. The next one, this presentation discusses the employment of women and young persons under the leave with wages provisions of the Factories Act 1948. It highlights key aspects, implications, and the importance of these regulations and promoting fair labors. The next, what is the importance of women employment? The promoting gender equality. The gender equality is a common for India. The other countries is a general equality is a common, but India it is not for the rule common. So the employment of women in factories helps bridge the gender gap. The promoting equality in the workplace and empowering women economically and socially. First of all, the gender in anything, it's some women face discrimination while working the factories. Though the Factories Act 1948 does provide for many provisions related to women and women's health, safety, well-being, and benefits, it still is lacking in certain areas. So, the next we give to the health and safety provision women provided under the Factories Act 1948. The section 19, the chapter 3, Factories Act provide for a health and safety provisions respectively. Section 19 of the Factories Act mentors that every factory must have enough latrine and urinal accommodation for both men and women, which should be accessible to the workers at all times. No person can bear from using them at any time, and the employer must maintain adequate clean lines and sanitations in the latrines and urinals at the all times. There should also be washing places nearby. This is all very necessary for keeping the workers healthy. Women in particularly should not have any problem. This section aims to keep women and men healthy at all times. Though unfortunately, both women and men had to work overtime with not toilet breaks by their employer in this COVID-19 pandemic to continue supplying the growing demands their consumers. The next, work on to the near machinery motions. The executive weight, proportion of employment of women and children near cotton openness. The first of all, section 27 of the Factories Act profits any woman in employment to be employed in any part of factory for processing cotton or in the opener is used. This is done to keep it the woman healthy, as there is a high risk of the cotton bales generating flames. When with cotton bales the being processed, they generate high amounts of heat and the things around the can catch fire. So the next, leave the wages provisions. The wages provision it's very important. It is an entailment of a leave, impact on moral, and complaints of accountability. It is everything. It should be included into the Factories Act 1948. The garments factories, clothes factories, women are being fired or being underpaid in the current corona pandemic. In the lockdown, many people sit at their homes without work and hence without money. After the lockdown was lifted, the factories only allowed up to 30% of their workforce. The making many people still unemployed. Female workers who had children were asked to not come to work to the not endanger their own lives on there. The children's lives, but the workers after some time needed money to feed their families. The 30% of workforce was allowed to follow the social distancing norms and as said the was bad. The impact of moral providing leaves the wages in hands in the workers' moral. It is connecting to the basis on the factories. The futures of directions, awareness campaigns, strengthingness, enforcement, and exclusive policies. It is for a woman empowerment and leave wages to the topic in. Thank you.